Hello and welcome. My name is Greatman Ayilara. I'm super excited we could make it to another episode of Wake Up Nigeria today, where we will be talking about the occurrences or the events in our nation and how it is also directly affecting us as people, and for us to also find a way around how we can save the submerging ship from wrecking through the instrument of common sense and especially objective thinking and seeking. So on the program today, we will be talking about few folks objectively without sentiment. I just wanted to go ahead and share with your friends and family and put it in their inbox and let them join us. Today we'll be mentioning the person of Primate Ayodele, Chris Oyakhilome, Sunday Adelaja, FEMI-FANI Kayode, Pastor Moses Alu, Abike Dabiri, Johnson, Suleiman, and the host of them. Um, there's been a lot going on in our internet space recently that requires us to, as people, come up and think for ourselves and also debug reason between the line to determine those who are for us, those who are against us, and if we also are not against ourselves. So we have a lot to cover today. Somebody was asking me during the course of the week why I do not come online every day or try to break the news as they are coming up. And the only explanation I could give was that I do not consider myself as a blogger. I'm not a blogger, and this is not my source of livelihood. I'm a critical thinker and I'm a seeker, and I try as much as possible to also be part of the scheme of narrative that is changing in Africa continent and in our history as people these days. So one day in a week to come online and liaise with you, my friends, family, listeners, and audience all around the globe, I think is enough. So after that, we go on and make a source of livelihood. All right. So for the people saying hi to us, let me take time to just reckon with you. Joy Chioma saying hi, great man, and everyone. Hello, Chioma. Chisco Peter is saying good evening, my leader. Uh, somebody is always using leader here. All right. So we are leader in our respective corner, and we try as much as possible to be a good leader. Now we go on today as we begin to break the news. Primate Babatunde Ayodele is our focal point for today. We will be hearing from the horse's mouth how our suspicion all the while is true when it comes to money, religion, God, and people. First, I want to say congratulations to every single one who has been on this journey of emancipation. Either you are approaching it from political angle or you are approaching it from religious angle. It is our noise and our clamoring that led to this Karma 2020 or speeding it up. It's been in existence, not active, but now it's active. If we had kept quiet or we pretended to be suffering while smiling, it should have been suffer forever. But because one, two, three, few of us decided to wreck our career, expose our security, and also chose to be hungry, living in the desert, so we can speak to the Herod, we are able to, get to the point where we can actualize this particular karma. All right, so now we go on talking about this. The very first person we are going to be examining today is the person of Primate Ayodele. I'll put up his picture so that we'll know what is on the agenda. It has been a suspicion all this while that these men are actually running what I call private business. And to confirm it, this man called Primate Ayodele, who is the leader of Henry Evangelical Church, or whatever it is, decided to display his folly. I call it folly. He decided to say, I am an illiterate. I do not have a clue of what I'm saying, and I want to show off my stupidity and foolishness before the entire populace of Nigeria. Because if you take a look at how he's talking and reacting to Kama, you realize that, number one, he's talking from the angle of someone who is unlettered, talking from the angle of someone who is greedy, talking from the angle of someone who owns monopoly of all the cash and stipends and money and allowances that come all in the name of we give to God. Because when these men, you go to them for one thing or the other, they tell you when you give to God, God gives to you. Some of them even go to the point of saying, if you can put on my shoe, then in few years you will get this, in few days you'll get this. So when you get this, you give God 10% so God can multiply. Open heaven scheme, breaking financial curses and all of those schemes. He has actually come to tell us, as one of their representatives that come, we are all thieves and we are only looking forward to it. May I take a break to tell you today to please go ahead and share this. If all of us right here could share it on our wall, host it as a watch party, it will reach wider coverage and we'll be able to affect more lives than we can imagine. Now we go ahead. The very first video we'll be tackling on is the video from this man. I believe it has been circulating all over the internet, the web space, but I would love us to today analyze what he's saying. This is a man who said he's going to fast for 1,000 years or days, just to bring people down who were trying to speak against Kama, who was trying to implement Kama. Now, here is the voice of your Reverend Primate Ayodele as we kickstart fully today. Let's hear it.
They have not born that person. Nobody. Are you to about the land? Buy the build the building. The church that I use my money to finance, my sweat. They can't try it in my own church. I pound my hand on my chest and I'm saying it with confidence. Maybe you are the one they call, you tell me. When all my investment, all my life, my soul, my energy, my blood is in the church. Forget karma. Maybe the churches that are very rich, they can karma them. Nobody can karma my church for me. Nobody, no president, no governor. Come and try. Let them come and take over now.
All right. So we're going to be hearing detail of what he's saying right now. But in the meantime, someone is asking here, say, please, this karma, what is it exactly? Now, we did extensively, unlike other channel, or I took time to explain extensively what karma means last week. You can do well to search that on our YouTube channel. What the NGOs, non-government organization, including churches and all that, need to understand about karma. I took time to do that. We don't want to go with that today, Joanne. Sorry, you can just brush yourself up with that some other time. But it's like United Kingdom Charity Commission For those who are hearing for the first time, United Kingdom Charity Commission, who is in charge of regulating what a non-government organization does with the money of the people. Now, the general belief in Nigeria is that the money they give to church, to mosque, belongs to God. Now, the federal government is saying that it is not God's money, it is people's money. And you, as the religious leader or leader of a sect or leader of an NGO or leader of a resident organization or whatever, is a public officer also. Just like you can call government to accountability, you should also be called into accountability. And if public are giving you money, you must be accountable to public, and you must do it with utmost transparency. That's what KAMA 2020 is all about. And KAMA 2020 is giving an average person, a common man, the power. It's putting power in the hand of an average person to be able to call their leader to order. Now, this has nothing to do with touch not my anointed. If you feel or you have the nudge that your pastor, your man of God, your leader is doing something not quite well with the money, you can report to Corporate Affairs Commission that is going to enact Company Allied Matter Act, KAMA 2020, against them to install interim manager who will be in charge of the monetary aspect, while the board of trustees of that organization continue with the day-to-day activity of the organization until the account of that particular organization is being well audited. And that is what we have been clamoring for. When this is done, your pastors, your GO, your imam, and the rest of them will not be able to enjoy on the song of fella that says, suffer, suffer for what? Enjoyment for heaven. Muslim go, they shout, Allahu Akbar. Imam, Pope will not baladun. It will not happen again. Pope will not baladun. Imam will not enjoy it. Pastor will not be flying private jet anymore because the money will be going to where. Okay, Joanne has gotten it. Thank you very much. All right. So now we go on with today's listing. One of the people who are leaders, so-called Christian leaders in our nation, this is the man, Primate Ayodele, is saying, nobody has been born of a woman who can come to enact that law on his own church. Now, let's hear full detail of what he's talking about as we begin to analyze with common sense what he's trying to say. Please don't forget to share. Sharing is important. Go ahead.
I don't know who I've advised the president for this KAMA. That person just want to see the word of God, because when you're talking about KAMA, you are talking about fighting God. In my own case.
So KAMA is actually fighting God. Can you see that? Now, Nigerian spiritual leaders, or let me say church leaders or mosque leaders, spiritual leaders, so to say, are full of threatening people with that word called God. Now, remember, I have once said that God is an entity created for the oppressed, by the oppressed, to deny the harsh reality of their present condition. So if something is bad, they say, is God testing me? If something is good, they say, is God helping me? And if they want to threaten you to do something, they also say, God is going to fight you. So he began to do what we call emotional blackmail by saying, KAMA is trying to provoke the wrath of God. I'm telling you the truth, everybody listening to me right now, God is powerless over the authority of the government. Where was God when the government said don't open church? Were they able to do something against God? Against government? See, Yoruba people say Ijoba Munimogun, which means when a government capture you, they capture you with your jazz and voodoo, your jazzes and all that. Okay, if you think you have power, now we're talking. If you think your God is so powerful, if you think you have one spiritual and supernatural stuff, why are you not calling for the death of Buhari or the past spiritual leader? See, all these things, Emma Bobu Amwenya say is calling for the wrath of God. The wrath of God that cannot solve the problem of COVID. The wrath of God cannot come and save you people when they say you should get locked down. You got locked down, and now you're saying the wrath of God is going to work against KAMA. But they will first make mouth. Later, they will succumb to it. One of those who succumb later, or who are coming to the harsh reality of the whole thing, is Johnson Suleiman. Will get to his case. But let's go on with this man, Primate Ayodele. Let's go.
I'm not KAMA. I'm not PFN. Nobody can take over my church.
Now, did you hear that?
They have not pointed that person. Nobody.
Did you hear that?
What?
Did you hear what he said? He said, nobody can take over my church. Nobody can do what? Take over my own church. It is his own church. He refers to that church as a private business, which is what we've been telling Christians all this while. You guys are just dumping your money for pastors to make wealth. There is nothing like we are giving God money. God doesn't spend. What currency does God spend? So this man is able to come tell you that my church, he started the church, he said, my sweat, my time, my all these things and all. It is not saying I'm working for God. I believe it was dear Jesus that said that I will build my church, the gate of hell will not prevail. And they said they are one in the body of who? In the body of that Jesus. Now, how can the nose say that I am my own existence without lungs? For nose to function, you need the lungs. So in Nigeria, churches belongs to the man who is the head of the church. So when he dies, he will it over to his children. And thank goodness they are saying it to you now, for your eyes to be open. He said, nobody can take over my own church. It is their private business you are building for them. That's why they can tell you to come to church on Monday. And you will leave your own work and go to, that is their own source of livelihood. That's where they eat. That's where they sponsor their children to school. Church is their own office. So you will live your own life. The money you ought to save against your retirement, the money you ought to use to send your children to better school, the money you ought to use to live a good life for yourself, you will drop it in churches and they will convert it, they will fix it in bonds, treasury bills, fixed account and all that. Yield return and come to say to you that your tithe is nothing. Where were they before you started giving them tithe and offering? Where were they? How rich were they before they started churches? You need to ask these questions. Let's go on.
Are you talking about the land? Buy the build the building? Have they reported the church, my church, that they have the fraud in terms of the finance? The church that I use my money to finance, my sweat. I'll go, if it's 1,000 fasting days, I will do.
All right, this man is going to be going on 1,000 days fasting just to counter Karma 2020. Can you see the level of absurdity and illiteracy? Now, we mentioned something. He said, have they reported the church that they involved in any fraudulent matter? Which means that he knows that there is possibility that churches are into fraud. And so he is using indirect threat. This man is a narcissist. Using indirect threat to possible board of trustees member of his church not to even report ahead of that. So he understands that for government to come in, there must be a loophole inside. Someone must report, which is what we are talking about. Now, Karma is not witch hunting any church. Karma 2020 is not coming against the church buildings. For the sake of water and Mami water, Karma is not even done against churches alone. Why are churches and mostly Christians always playing the victim card every single time? When they lock down the religious places because they are not part of the essential services. I run organization, which is non-governmental charity organization, Crystal Love Foundation. My organization was part of the essential service during COVID, so I could move around. I was traveling from state to state, distributing palliative throughout the COVID because I am doing something that is essential. The church you say you go to was categorized under non-essential. For a church you are spending your life, money, time, energy, everything on to be categorized under non-essential by the government of the nation. You know that the government of the nation also knows that the concept of God is Ojeni, is a fraud. Is a fraud. And the government knows that when we allow people to go out to churches, to mosques and all that, they will die. When there are no people, there is no power. Knowledge is gotten through information. Power is gotten through people. And the government will never let power go. And how do they amass power? Through the people. Religion want to kill the people that the government is using to get power. So government say, no, we won't allow them. So churches, mosques, even traditional practitioners were locked down. The Agemo festival of the Ijebu people could not hold. It was nothing, next to nothing, that they did the Osun Osogbo festival of this year. They didn't come online to come and say government is witch hunting us. Mosque, no imam came out to say government is witch hunting us. It is only Christians who always play this victim, because it is through victim mentality that they used to sell their Jesus. If they had not played on your emotional intelligence, most of you wouldn't have believed in this Jesus. So they had to tell you that somebody had to kill him, they suffered him, he did the trample on his door, and all of those things, because one would you know. Think very well. Churches are always playing the victim card all the time. Are they the only one on lockdown? We will get there. Let's go on.
To finish, I will finish the whatever BRT or BOT they want to put. It will be like a rocket. They can't try it in my own church. I pound my hand on my chest and I'm saying it with confidence. Maybe you are the one they call, you tell me.
All right. So last week we mentioned something about Romans chapter 3, chapter 13, verse 1 to 3. It states in their Bible, the Bible they used to make this money, says that there is no government in place or authority in place without the consent of this God. Say, ye who disobey the government, disobey God himself. And the government owed no terror except for the disobedient ones. Their Bible said, which in implication means that church is not bigger than the government of that nation. And when every evangelical ministry is going to start, did you go to collect certificate from those people who called you? I want to hear, because you'll be speaking English as if you are speaking Yoruba. You are just using English to interpret the Yoruba in your head. So you don't even know how to speak this English. Who are the people that called you? Did you obtain your certificate of operation from them? Now let's go ahead and talk about this. The Central Bank of Nigeria will never start Zenith Bank for Jimovia. But Central Bank of Nigeria will, at every day and point in time, regulate the activity of the Zenith Bank that was started by Jimovia. Agreed or not? The Central Bank of Nigeria did not start United Bank of Africa for Tony Olumelu. But everything Tony Elumelu does in that organization is being regulated by Central Bank of Nigeria. Central Bank of Nigeria will not create a microfinance bank for you. You want to operate bank, there is a central bank. Go and obtain certificate or license of preparation for that. So whatever you do is given to you categorically by the central bank. There is a regulating body for every single association in every nation of the world. There is something we call Pension Commission of Nigeria. They call them PENCOM. I've been in pension industry before. The PENCOM will not start either custodial business for Zenith Pension or start administrative business for Stanbic IBTC pensions. But everything they do is regulated by the PENCOM. The business, allied matter, companies, they call it companies and allied matter. Everything that has to do with organization, gathering people together, fellowshipping together, aiming at the same cause, you need to take certificate from the Corporate Affairs Commission. And so because you took your certificate as a license to be able to operate, you have to obey the rules and regulation they give to you on the modus of your operation. It's like selling franchise. Are you with me? So when you say the governing body of your nation cannot have authority over what you have tendered your request and they have given you certificate for, that is what we call treasonable felon. And you should be jailed. You should be tried and jailed. Nigeria is the most lenient nation I've ever seen. These people should be packed in trucks and go to jail for 1,000 years. 1,000 days. In a nation that works, because these people are starting government under a government, and that is what we call treason. They are instigating the people against the government of the day. It is called civilian coup d'etat. If you don't know what these people are doing, that is the implication. Now, this very lawless one they read in your Bible, these are the lawless ones. These are the lawless ones, except you don't think about it. Please go ahead and share. Just a few minutes to press share button and you can come back and join us. Let's go ahead.
Maybe you are the when you don't even know the system of the church. Doesn't look. Don't you see how the thing looks like? Say you. Is it APC or PDP? Let UK practice their own system. America practice their own system. The system is quite different.
Can you see? Nigeria system is quite different in what term? In what term? In the term of lawlessness and corruption. So we say we go to abroad, everything is working. Now, nothing is working in abroad because people want to make it work. Things work in abroad because there is what we call error trapping mechanism. There are consequences melted after or against every lawlessness. Why do you think they have CCTV everywhere? Nobody, human being, either you are white, either you are black, either you are racial, whatever you are, no human being behaves better than an animal. As a matter of fact, the gift of reasoning that we have is even the most crucial foundation of our corrupt behavior. Now, what do? Just the way we tame animals, human beings also tame themselves by putting laws, regulations in place. Not because human beings are so holy and pious and say, okay, I will obey all laws. Human beings obey laws in abroad because there are consequences and there are repercussions. Oh, Detima. It is in Nigeria that you will say it's late in the night, so I can break traffic rule. Abroad, either is late, either is whatever it is, break the traffic rule, you'll see your ticket in your doorstep tomorrow. So what you call abroad is not working because these people are fair in color or because they are living in cold region, not because their medulla oblongata is better than yours. It is better because they follow, because their government put principles in place, protocols are in place. So you say abroad is different, Nigeria is different. That's because Nigeria do not melt actions with consequences. And so many things have been swept under the carpet for so long that abnormality is our new normal. It should not be so. That is what we are craving for. We must not will this kind of Nigeria to our children coming after us. Because I want to buy a Dubai. I want to borrow. So when this man opened his mouth and began to talk trash, he seems to be lacking every sense of morality, even as so-called man of God.
God called me and he gave me the lay down rules. And someone said that there is a fraud. I'm not going to fraud. When all my investment, all my life, my soul, my energy, my blood is in the church. Forget karma. Maybe the churches that are very rich, they can karma them. Nobody can karma my church for me. Nobody, no president, no governor. Come and try it. Let them come and take over now. Have you seen bomb before? Heavenly bomb. When they hear it, they will not even hear word till they die. You can't try it. It's just dead on arrival. It's a joker. They want to test the church. Meanwhile, there's a prophecy we have said that government will fight church. It's inside that book. And I will not blame the government because the church leaders, they are in partnership, business relation they are with churches because they are governments like. They have all it takes. They can do and undo. That's why I give it to Bishop Oyedepo at every given time. Being an outspoken man of God. There will be only protest. I'm not a politician, no. There's a way to invoke only protest on such government.
What is the definition of holy protest? Mind you, you can call into the program. You can call into the program. What is the definition of holy protest? What does it mean by holy protest? There is a WhatsApp number that is showing below. Holy protest. The highest you can do is to do your 1,000 fasting days. Because nothing will come out of it. Nothing, absolutely nothing. In this Nigeria, have they not done what they call 100-day fasting and prayer? Did that take away Boko Haram from Nigeria? Did it? It didn't change anything. And I'm saying, if you say this God is your father, a God you have to fast to answer your say, okay, you say the government is victimizing the church. Are you saying God does not know? You say that your God does not know that they are victimizing the church. Why is he not fighting for you people? Why do you need to go on 1,000-day fasting? I hope you guys are sharing this. It is a pitiable Bishma for us to have this sort of souls as leaders of people, as leaders of human beings. Let's go on.
They will collapse. And they have not tried it. Have you seen where an ordinary Malta want to rule the spiritual world? It's impossible. Very, very impossible. Government is trying impossibility, and they are trying to test God. God have tested the world with COVID-19. I don't know how many. It's not possible. Nobody can come and take over my church. Maybe we have seen 10 plagues in Israel, maybe in Egypt. This will be 1,000 plagues. That body, let them come. Let them come with anything and say they want to take over the spiritual sanctuary of God. That is not APC secretariat. That is not PDP secretariat. Or let them do it in America, not in Nigeria. I know how many days I fast in a year. I'm ready to fast 10,000 years to destroy that plant. It won't work.
Baba has changed it to 10,000 years. Can you see the level of madness? This is a man some people will go and kneel down for. Oh yeah, daddy, pastor, pray for me. Does this make sense, people? Is this sensible? 10,000 years. He doesn't even know what to say again. Okay, all these holy protest, wrath of God, all those blah blah he's talking about, on what? Based on what? Sir, is it too bad for government to say the money you collected, please come and make accountability for it? Yeah, he's terrified and very scared. Somebody says that. The old man is terrified and he's scared. Very scared to the teeth. And this is the kind of things we think should be happening mostly in Nigeria. This is what we need in the nation. A nation where people who call themselves leaders are accountable solely to the people, so that they will know that they are not overall of anybody, whoever they are. And only those who are running churches as private business are living like this. Living like this. Living like this. And we're going to move on to someone else today. Someone else today. Before we even move to that someone else, let's move to this particular corporate body, this organization. This organization. I'm sure you must have seen their, what do you call it? Their movement, or let me say their, whatever it is they do. They call themselves socio-economic, whatever, in Nigeria. And they actually wrote to the federal government to avert or to revert on what they say they are going to do on the issue of Karma 2020. I'm going to read what I saw online. These people are a set of lawyers. They are a set of lawyers who believe that they are quite sensible. I hope I have that document with me here. Whom we should be looking up to, SERAP. I think they are being headed by one Segalik or whatever. So many of them there. Now, What they wrote to the government is to demand the president to revert that Kama law. They were quoting several sections. You can go online to search for it. Now, these are people, majorly they are lawyers, and they are also non-government organization. And we just want to say, when the hope of the masses, which is the law or the lawyers, are fighting for the oppression of the same people that is looking up to them as saviors, the nation is doomed. I particularly was highly disappointed at what I discovered when I saw that these SERAP people wrote to the government against the car. Why will they do that? Because most of them don't put their own lawyer. They can be son, they can be whatever it is. They are also church members of these buffoons and these criminals. So despite the fact that they know the law, they are still scared of the wrath of God. And so they are working for their fathers in the Lord. SERAP, a whole SERAP is. Let's even know the meaning of SERAP itself. Let's know the meaning of, so that we don't just go ahead and SERAP is socio-economic something, 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 something. Yeah, socio-economic rights and accountability project. Can you see? Socio-economic rights and accountability projects. Accountability is even part of what they call themselves, while they are fighting against a law that will put the right to request accountability into the hand of a common man. These people. I just pity Nigerians. I pity Nigeria and I pity Nigerians. Mind you, do you know that this Karma 2020 is not against church work alone? Let's imagine that you have something like NURTW. NURTW. If you think that MC Musili Woluomo or Olorunwa, all those criminals that have become multi-billionaires today, are using the money they are extorting from the masses, because it is still public money. Yeah, Nigerians don't take time to think deep. If you're an average Nigerian here, you enter down for bus and all that. If you enter Okada, you see them. If you enter Marua, you see them. If you enter bus, you see them. Anywhere you see them, so long it is about transportation. And when you're going, you give them money. You give the conductor money of your transport fare. From the transport fare, all these boys that run after, they collect rebate, or let me say tax or allowance money, whatever, ticket money from either Keke Marua and the rest of them. They return it to people like NURTW, governed by folks like MC Musili Woluomo, who is an illiterate, a dropout, who by all standard, that is what public money. It is your money given to the tout or the lout and giving back to these people. If you think that MC Musili Woluomo is now going abroad, he has children in almost all the nations of the world and building houses everywhere. I was in Oshodi some days ago. Somebody was telling me that almost all the hotels in Oshodi area is owned by these people called louts or touts. You were there, Kawe, you went to school. You went to school. Nigeria did not pay. You left Nigeria. You went abroad to go and be sweeping floor. Somebody who is nobody just sit down in his office. They took out of your money and give to him under compulsion. If you think he's spending it not wisely, you can make a lodgement of complaint and Kama will go against him. If you have a residential association, some of you lives in estate and you have residential association, and let's say the chairman of your estate is not using the money you paid for him, all these levies for what you want him to use it for, Kama will do what? Will go against him. So long that association is being registered. the association of people that take biro, the association of Alakara, the association of Dundu Seller, the association of this, all those non-governmental organizations, if you think the one you put in charge is not using the money for the purpose of it, you do what? You report to CAC and not Kama, interim manager takes over. All those Ikoyi clubs, Sunshine clubs, Ikeja clubs, golf club, Lakowe club, all those leisure places that, they are non-governmental and all that. Do you know that they are also still under Kama? Kama can also still Kama them. How many of them did you see outside, child? All those Tony Elumelu Foundation, this one foundation, all those, what do you call this guy? This our colleague. That's always cooking jollof rice. I've forgotten his name. That short man. Kokun Foundation, the rest of them, even Crystal Love Foundation, which I heard, if you think the money you are putting into the organization's money is not being used to materialize the purpose, karma can be enacted against it. Now, those people are not complaining. You enter any Domino Pizza outlet in Nigeria, you see slum to school projects, and they'll tell you, okay, we want to raise so millions of naira. We have gotten so millions of naira. We are sending children to school. They give you accountability. If you think so far so good, the money you have given is not reflecting in all their publicity or public places and all that, you can also go and report them. Every single year, after Ileya festival, people, the princes, the whatever, will gather together in front of the king's palace in Ijebu-Ode, Awujale, and they will say, Ojude Oba. I'm sure you must have heard it. All those little groups which are registered fully under the government of Corporate Affairs Commission. If you think the money you are putting it in there every year is not being utilized, what do? Karma can carry there. Is there transparency? Is Nigeria getting better or not? That is what these so-called lawyers are fighting against. That it should be abolished. So you now look up and down and you wonder, who is the lover of the masses? Who are the very people that we can now trust with our lives in Nigeria, when even lawyers who are meant to be fighting for our law respect to people like FEMI-FANI? Folks like FEMI-FANI. Do you know that FEMI-FANI is the counsel for this SERAP? Publicity stunt, Baba already had to fight there. I told you these people are not for you. You say no, shut up. Now we are seeing them one by one. Are they for the masses or against the masses? That's where you will know that there's problem with the average man in Nigeria. Not only the government. From the pulpit to the pew, everybody is in fault. Are you with me? From the pulpit to the pew, everybody have one fault or the other. And I just hope we will get to a point in Nigeria where everybody will just say enough is enough. We will categorically and collectively go against everything that will not allow us to be better in this nation. And so gradually we move on to this our guy. I don't know why I don't like this man. I don't hate him, but I don't fancy him. I honestly do not hate him. But, arrogancy. Who are we seeing on the screen? This is Apostle Johnson Suleiman, the ever controversial human being. The ever controversial human being. Apostle Johnson Suleiman, a very good friend of your Cool FM guy. Now, it is a good thing to be controversial. I'm a controversial fellow because I have my own opinion, and I'm very strong-willed when it comes to opinion. So when you hold opinion against someone, religiously they call it blasphemy or heresy. On social level, we call it controversy. So gift of controversy is what I think everyone as Nigerians or Africans should have. Ability to hold contrary opinion to what is already in place. So the moment they say Jesus is Lord, and you say, no, Jesus is just Jesus, he's a prophet. To them who believe Jesus is Lord, you have blasphemed or you have gone heretical. What happened there? You have not committed sin against anybody. You have just held a different opinion than them. So when we want to look at it, those of us who do not practice those religions, we say you are controversial. Apostle John Suleiman is highly controversial. They will keep using their title for them so that we can explain their stupidity. Now, it's controversial, but when you are controversial and you have sense, we will listen to you. But when you are controversial and you are foolish, I hope you know foolishness. Calling someone a fool is not an abuse or insult. It is just telling them the verb of their outward action. So when someone is not, you say, this is foolishness. So let's not think we are. When there's no sense in something, that means that thing is stupid. So when someone is not making sense, we say they are. Instead of us to say they are senseless, we just say, sir, you are stupid. All right. For the newcomers, please go ahead and share this with your friends and family. Let's go on to Apostle Johnson Suleiman. While Kama was being, what do you call it? While Kama was still in the process of, okay, they are deliberating on it and blah, blah. Johnson Suleiman is a very confident man on a wrong thing. He says some things, and I'm going to play the first one, the before and the after. I'm going to play the before and the after.
People have been asking me to talk about this
sorry. So we're going to be projecting it on the screen right now. This is Apostle Johnson Suleiman. Before Kama was signed into law, I want you to see the tempo of his voice. Let's hear it now.
People have been asking me to talk about this Kama bill. You know the Kama bill that's going on now, that they said the government can just give the church a board of trustees.
Now, at this point, it is still a bill that is being discussed. It is still a bill that is being discussed. And he has been threatening the government ahead of time. Well, let's hear what he has to say.
They can suspend some. And I said, why will I talk over nonsense? The government that will change the board of trustees in this ministry, that government has not been born.
Ìbéèrè mi rèé fún gbogbo ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ń gbọ́ wa nílé lóko lọ́nà àti lẹ́yìn odi. Who are the church members of these people? Who are the human beings that say we are church members of these people? So when these people are committing what we call tyranny and displaying high level of illiteracy, and they begin to say amen and shouting and hailing, who are these people? PhD holder. Are we going to see all of the people in this man's church are selling pepper, tomato, and this in a market, and they didn't go to school? None of them could even say, okay, let me go and observe. What is Kama bill? Why? Because the arrangement of the church is done so that somebody will just come and put in data into your head and you will just take it and go. You have no right to question. A place where you cannot say, excuse me, sir, I don't understand. It's not a church. It is not even a school. It is not a place meant for human beings. Only dogs, only animals are put in cages without choice. And that's where you go. You can't wait to go there. Let's go ahead.
This ministry, come and do it. No, come and change. No, come and change now. You say it's Kama law, it's Kama B, it's Kama. What kind of stupid? Have you finished managing Ministry of Agric? Have you finished managing Ministry of Work? In this country, Ministry of Work is not working. They say it's church. Come and try it. There are some things that don't make sense now. Listen, if you want, let me tell you something. Let's not rule out the fact that many pastors just started church because of money. So what you should talk about is transparency. If you will say churches should submit their financial report, I will be the first. You know how we submit? Do you know how we submit? I'll be so happy. So by the time you discover that what they are making a month is 5 million, but what the man is spending on people is 60 million, won't you balance me?
Every single word he's saying now, please note it down. Don't forget every single word he's saying. He said, karma is what? Nonsense and rubbish. He said, karma is an illiterate bill. He said, karma is dead on arrival. However, he went ahead to now say that if what you are talking about is transparency, what is karma all about? Please contribute, please. You can call in if you want to call in. You can put in your comment. What is karma bill all about? Is it not about transparency? Or like in my law school. And apart from the fact that you went to school, it is good to go and learn comprehension. If you ever went to school in Nigeria, if Nigeria is where you got your certificate, I beg you, you don't still know anything. No. You have to still go and enroll to a school of comprehension. Because the major problem of most Nigerians is that they hear hey and they think they are hearing hey. You said karma is rubbish, but you said if it's about transparency, it doesn't matter. Somebody is saying that the freeze is mute, no volume. Why would there be volume in that one's mouth? Why? So for the people who ask me, why we don't see you with the freeze again, we don't see you with Adelaja again. This is why I left it. I won't lay those ones. How many times? Those ones. So Apostle Johnson Suleiman does not have any brain in that his call. And if he does, on take parole. Now we're talking now, we said if I submit my file or document and you see that I spend more than I collect, you will balance me. That's where I'm going to tell you something. During the week, somebody was commenting on our last video, on last Wake Up Nigeria video, and saying that, will I be willing to submit my personal and organization account? I said, come. If you have been to school at all, karma does not target individuals. Karma target organizations that is registered. Did I register my name as do you know that your name is a corporate entity on its own? I can go to CAC and register Greatman Ayilara. The day I register Greatman Ayilara and you put money under an account that bears the name Greatman Ayilara, that account ceases to be a personal account. It has become corporate account. In case you are part of this. But if I am Greatman Ayilara and I am running a social development organization called Crystal Love Foundation, when people see and say you are sweating over this organization, take this money, I support you with it, which some people do oftentimes, so that we can buy data to run the platform, we can pay subscription for this virtual studio, we can work from one place to the other and all that. So the change that is there, when we don't have money in organization, when people come every single day, I don't know how many 5,000 that leaves my account every single day. I don't come online to go and give account of it. My personal account, my own private account. I cannot count how many. Sir, I'm hungry, 5,000. Sir, I'm stranded, 3,000. I'm this and that. So when we accumulate all these 5,000 here, 10,000 here, 2,000 here, my children want paracetamol and all that here, that is not available in the account of Crystal Love Foundation. Sometimes we spend over 500,000 in a month. Whenever I give reports of our audit in Crystal Love, I do not add what I gave out of my free will to what I submit to government. Are we together? So people who don't understand should know. But everything that comes into Crystal Love Support Foundation is being transparent. As a matter of fact, we did something a few weeks ago. I'm going to tell you very soon. And I gave detailed document of transfer, everything in public, even the situation where that particular property is located. So when these people come to bamboozle you with stuff, most people can win church, so they just direct them like a wind without direction. They are unfair people. So it is normal. People will bless you. Those money they use in blessing you, government is not asking you to give account of it. But the money that comes into a corporate entity, which certificate you obtain from Corporate Affairs Commission, they are saying we need transparency. Let's go ahead and hear the stupidity of this man.
You balance me now. I'll be the happiest person. By the time in fact, they will call me and say, come, why are you spending your money? As we say, Moya, support me. Sure, you want to know finance? Come and know now. But say you sit down somewhere. It's not even an educated bill. Karma bill is an illiterate bill. You don't appoint a board of trustee who has not been around at all and has no stake to the company. You can suspend, appoint, you die.
Are you here? What is a board of trustees? That's a question people need to know. Appointing board of trustees only needs to do with matter of making your organization operation more public and more accountable to general populace. I'm telling you the truth as I am right now. I can confidently put someone I have not met, I have not known, into the board of trustees of Crystal Law Foundation if I have nothing to fear. As a matter of fact, the more controversial board of trustees is, the more accountable the organization becomes to the general populace. Who is a board of trustees? A board of trustees is the representative of the people in your organization, ensuring that the money goes to where you say you want it to go to. Board of trustees is like electing rep to the House of Rep or senators. Do you know all your senators or your this? But you read their credentials. This person have skill in this, skill in that, skill in that. Okay. We need someone to hold the post of secretary, whose profile can, if it is by mentality of Suleiman, that they appoint people to organization. Someone like Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala should not be World Bank president. Someone like that particular man should not be the president of Agricultural Bank. Do these people know what they are saying at all? We are talking about credentials. You are talking about someone who has been around for so long. What does presence has to do with qualification? If you are not trying to steal, I want Nigerians to be standard in their reasoning. You can put people who's not of your race or whatever into your board of trustees. The more you want to enlarge your tentacles, they become the rep of their own race, their own color, their own people in the dream you are. A dream that is not involving people who are not of your lineage and all that is not even worthy to be called a dream. Ṣùgbọ́n Olúwawo àpapín làwọn people yìí. They collect it together in one place, they join the hand together, they split it. So they need someone who will not backstab them or snitch on them to be part of them. So when daddy is talking, nobody can say no. The only thing you need as a board of trustees is to ensure that all of them identify with your dream and they have the qualification to perform. You can't do everything. As a matter of fact, it doesn't even have anything to do with their religion. Can they perform the role of publicity secretary very well? Can this one be a good treasurer? Can we put money in this hand and multiply it? Who is the creative director of the organization? Nothing says that you as a founder of a corporate organization or a non-charity, a non-government organization must be the CEO or whatever it is. Dream makes you the founder. Learn to appoint duties to people. As a matter of fact, we were even thinking in Crystal Law Foundation to announce the post of board of trustees, vacancy for the board of trustees for people, as many people that want to join us. If your qualification can meet what we are needing, just come and be part of it. I don't want to know who you are. As long as you identify with the dream, we go on because we have nothing to fear. These people have something to fear. That's why they are behaving like this. If I wasn't into it, I wouldn't know much. And I wouldn't have confidence of educating people about it. But I've been into it. And I'm still into it. And we do it for the sake of the people, so we don't complain.
Come and try it. There are some things you don't bother to discuss. Kama bill is an illiterate bill. If you want financial sincerity, you want financial transparency, then get auditors. Get auditors to audit them. Let them open your books. You are said.
Sorry, what was the... Okay, so we've spoken about what Kama is, which is also request for transparency. How would they request for transparency using Kama? The most important thing is to appoint what we call interim manager. Who is an interim manager? An interim manager is an auditing organization, not just one person. An auditing organization like Nigeria, the most popular one is Akintola Deloitte. An auditing organization will become your interim manager. Who is going to come and audit your account? Who has no interest or stake in your organization? And the board of trustees that is on ground, if none of them, if you have 5 board of trustees, for instance, what happened is that if none of them has committed any, direct crime against the organization, all of them manage your day-to-day activity like FSA praise and worship. You want to do this, you want to do that, face that. But when it comes to money, the interim manager, which is also an auditing company, becomes the one who is taking care of that. When the board of trustees need money to do something, instead of them to do a packing within themselves, they now tell the interim manager, say, we need money for this. He confirms, because he has no stake, that you really need money, the amount of money. The interim manager will now teach the board of trustees how to appropriate public money by making sure that if you bring a bill and say you want to buy this phone for 50,000, the interim manager goes to the market to price it. If we can afford it at the rate of 35,000, or there's something that can perform the same function that is lower, the interim manager be the one who help you to. They only help you to save money so that you don't owe the enemy. The pastor of, let's say, 100,000 congregation want to be riding 5 private jets. For what? So the interim manager will now begin to tell pastor, sell the private jet, convert the money to charity, help these people, help these people. The highest we can do for you is to fly business class or first class. But they know that when there's an external person who's appropriating the fund, they will not be able to leave their heaven on earth. So they tell you to build your mansion in heaven while they build theirs on earth. Let's go.
I don't have a problem with that. But to say somebody will sit down, you carry one Northern Muslim and appoint him to become a board of trustees, you are mad.
Is there any place they say Northern Muslim? These are the people dividing this nation. We agree that Nigeria is a nation of nations. We agree. And I particularly am of the opinion that we should not waste time on restructuring. We should just go our separate ways. Let's go and try independence. But not this way. When we put Igbo man in Aso Rock, their focus shift to, okay, you are going to put an Igbo man from somewhere to... Tribalism has finished Nigeria. We can't even tolerate ourselves. We can't.
Amen. I'm not, it is an insult. I'm repeating it. You didn't contribute to the land. You didn't contribute to the running of the ministry. 16 years I've been running the ministry, paying salaries, supporting widows, supporting the poor. They appoint you board of trustees. You are mad.
Sorry, can you see the way he's saying you are mad? He's saying all those things. The next time I see anybody come on this platform to say, okay, you are using this word against this person, and then you go because your pastor is saying it, their members are saying, hey, ooh, pastor, right down. So I just want to play it. I want us to finish it so that you see the stupidity of those people they follow.
We will use fasting and prayer to kill you.
You see the similarity between what he said and what Primate Ayodele. You see, Primate Ayodele, we have his video and audio with us. We have his secret with us. I'm a leak here some other time. Time. We don't have time for that one now. So you come to Africanism to take power, you brand it under the name of Jesus, you bamboozle people, and you stay on your altar and you abuse Africanism. We will get there. So this fasting and prayer, you use fasting and prayer today. Now today, your fasting and prayer could not kill Ebola from coming. Your fasting and prayer could not work against COVID. Your fasting and prayer did not bring lockdown to an abrupt end. Your fasting and prayer is just another hunger strike. May you not develop ulcer. See people. You see the people? See human beings.
Listen,
wasted
how
food.
many of you, now don't say this because you are in church. Don't say this because you are in church. How many of you know that I am not after money? I'm not. I'm not. I'm just saying that I'm not. When I see you as a member of the church, the first thing that comes to my mind is how you should be okay. Anybody I see is I want to be, so I'm not after that. What am I?
If you are not after money now, why are you so scared about giving accountability of the money under you? Why are you so scared about giving accountability of the money under your care if money is not what you're after? However, Iluchi orange change, like Yinka would say. When the going was smooth, they were making mouth. When the song turned to Rocky Sister, something has happened. That's why I'm going to play this. This is the after. That was the before, while the bill is being contemplated. Do you know the thing is that their fasting and prayer could not stop the bill, could not frustrate the bill. The fasting and all the it could not stop the bill. Eventually, the bill came into reality. And let's hear the song that they are now.
The Karma Act is a diabolic and
now you can see where Nollywood is getting their inspiration from. It's from these men. You heard that right? Eh? Say, you know, I said it last time. I said, I want people to learn power. Nigeria is a comedy on its own. A nation built to make the world laugh. And it's a pity. It is a pity. It is a pity. It is a pity. So somebody, Ade Phillips, is saying that is still not a reason for you to abuse anybody, great man. Have you not read your Bible that says comparing themselves with themselves, they are not wise? I don't believe in the Bible anymore. Sorry, if that would take you out of if you want to leave us because of that. That Bible, somebody wrote it. And I'm not comparing myself to this man. I'm just saying we will call a spade a spade. We will call a spade a spade. So when you tell me that comparing yourself to yourself is something called whatever in the Bible, why are you trying to be like Elijah? Why are you trying to be like Moses? Why are you trying to be like Jesus? Why are you trying to be like Paul? If you yourself are not comparing yourself to other people. Let everybody live their life according to their discretion. Those who believe in hell or heaven should go there. Those who do not believe, your Bible is the one that says, be it unto you according to what your faith. Those who do not believe, let them go and rot in grave. Leave everybody to live their life. But when it comes to public money, when it comes to national building, when it comes to patriotism, when it comes to branding of our nation as Nigerian, we will not keep quiet. Nobody can bamboozle us. This is the after effect when karma eventually came. wọ́n rò pé àwàdà ni nígbà tó délẹ̀ tán orin change. Let's go.
The Karma Act is a diabolic and evil intended act. It says they can change a board of trustees and no court can upturn it.
Now, it was a literate act or bill. It was a literate bill. Now it has become diabolic and demonic. Christians are always making mouth until reality sets in, so they spiritualize it. Oh, my make mouth gone, nothing shall by any means hurt me. Arrows of the days, terrors of the night, I'm covered with the blood of the. They will now say, a spiritual attack. Oh, there is no one as mentally deranged as these people. No one is as perfectly and professionally mentally deranged as these people, because they always look for something to push their responsibility to. Suddenly it has become diabolical. Let's hear.
Why will I respect an act that does not respect the law?
What do I respect?
But somebody will say that, okay, in America, in London, government regulates charity organization. That's true. I should tell you what happens in America. I should tell you what happens in London.
You can't tell us what happens in America. You can't tell us what happened in London, because we go to London, we go to America, and London and America is not so sacred. London and America is not hidden in your Bible. It is on the internet. There are rules of law. You can log into their website and see if you are a criminal there, we will know all over the world. It's only in Nigeria that you people are not transparent. Come here, come and be blabbing nonsense and rubbish. America, do we now have people in America and UK who are listening to us right now? They want to tell us what works there. We know what works there. But for the sake of fair hearing, let's hear what you have to say. Prove your stupidity to the world again.
We have about 8 churches in London. We have about 30 in America. So I should tell you what works there. In America and London, a charity organization can collect grants from government. Government will give them, they will apply for grants. Government will fund them. In this last pandemic in America, I know churches who got $80,000, $100,000 supported by government. So when you support...
Sorry, I don't know. Government supported church, not church members who are citizens of the government. Government gave money to church so they can do what? Is it so they can, through the church, distribute palliative? Or what? I'm asking. The government gave money to a church. For what reason? Is it so that they can keep up their food bank, which you don't do here in Nigeria? You know, where people line up to eat free meal from churches, which is a medium of distributing palliative. Or to do what exactly? And you say charity organization will write to the government to collect money. And I'm asking, churches write government to collect money? Since you have 5 churches in UK, 8 churches in America, have you written to the government, Apostle John Suleiman? Have you ever written to the government to collect money? Have they given you any? Because we run full-time charity organization. And in running that, when you get international grant or government grant, there are stipulations on how to make use of that money by the body that gave you that money. And this is the reason why sometimes I don't fully believe in taking international grants, Because the people in the public do not know the stress and the pain that comes with taking international grant. They just felt you collect some dollars. They don't know how much of your soul and conscience you have to sell. Are you with me? So I said, Nigerians, either at home or abroad, can finance Nigerians who are less privileged. We will make it totally become public organization where even the Muslim, Christians, atheists, whoever you are, can have a say and say that we built this organization together for our people. And no white person will say to us that you cannot give to this set, you have to give these people tablet, you have to give this one this for you to get access to our money. No, I said no. So when you talk like this, Apostle Johnson Suleiman, I wonder where your conscience is when you stand and you lie. Does churches write government to collect money after the one they collected from the people? If you are speaking, know that some people can listen, they hear, they know, and we are not all fools. Mr. Ade or Gade, you are troubling me about your Bible and your these things. Is that what we are talking about here? Can you focus on what we are saying here for now? Please, we'll deal with that later. If you want to talk about if I believe in Bible, you come on Sunday 8 p.m. West African time, we'll talk about that. Thank you very much. This is validating what I just said. Femi is saying something here. Let me hear that. Femi is saying government do support with 20% of what the charity made. And such money is expected to be used for people within the community that such church operate. It is not for buying private jet like yours, which is what I just said here. Government can, through churches, those mosques, give palliative to the people because they are closer to the public, to the grassroots, than the government itself. And with strict instruction and monitoring. Meanwhile, that does not stop you from making sure that the money you collected is still being used for the purpose for which you collect it, and you will still give account. So, Pastor Suleiman, I don't understand you. Ìròyìn pọ̀, ìròyìn pọ̀, tẹ̀lé kúre, yálà kẹ́ rọrùn wò, ìyẹn tọrùn bá ń bẹ, ìròyìn pọ̀. Let's just go ahead.
Charity organizations, you have a right to regulate them. See, this country will apply for 100 million, government will give us. If you give us, then you can regulate us. We are not anti-government. Me, some weeks ago, I paid 4.6 million as tax. I paid to my state.
You pay 4.6 million as tax under what umbrella? Under what umbrella? Let me tell you what this man is saying. He didn't pay tax. The law of Nigeria does not require churches to pay tax. But remember that this man has fuel station. Remember that this man owns transportation company. I hope you have not got it. Remember that this man built a whole shopping complex. Remember that this man, just like Oyedepo, have schools too. So to ban ṣe business yàrá ẹ̀, ó normal pé kò san tax. I have a company called Knowledge and Literacy Bay. Every single cash that comes into that particular company is taxable. I run a foundation called Crystal Love Foundation. Every single penny that comes on it is not taxable. We just show our paper to all the bodies involved. I have my own private account. I pay tax from the money that comes from knowledge and literacy bay to my account. I don't collect one single penny from my sweat in Crystal Law Foundation, because we are not even mature to that point where somebody will be taking salary. So when this man say he pays some money, you have to pay now. Say, "Oh, she business. Oh, I need pay. I will pay your down on church, go to your down, load you are business here. Business here." So when you come to brag about your personal endeavor, personal business here, it doesn't work. Do you know the reason why Daniel Olukoya got into a problem with US government? Because he would take devotional books, 70-day fasting and prayer, pray your way into USA and say it is for free. They want to distribute it for free. When the paper goes beyond immigration, it will now send letter to them to sell it for an amount without paying tax. Oh, le business koma. Let's go on.
They taxed me.
They have to tax you.
Oh, you are surprised. Oh, you are believing all those nonsense you see on social media.
Indeed, what we see on social media is not nonsense. Man, hear me. It is not nonsense. What is on social media is not nonsense. And I dare you to say you tax on your church behalf. He will never say he tax on his church behalf. He owns business now. But because illiterate are the folks that is church, and they have taken their confidence away from asking questions, so they can't ask anything. Sir, on what organization did you pay that 4.6 million tax? He will tell you. He will never be able to say he paid it on behalf of his church. Churches don't pay tax. Not here, not in America, not anywhere in the world. You are not paying tax. All the people that are supposed to be paying tax, when the government say come and pay tax, they will not pay tax. But without telling them anything, they will come and pay tithe to you. You will not pay tax out of the tithe. We are still saying the money they are giving to you, want to see what you are using for. You are still saying it's a demonic bill.
The pastors are eating tithe, eating off. If you open our mouth and talk, what happens behind the scene? The tithe and offering for this church that comes from this church is used for diesel. You know, this last time when there was a lockdown was my best time because I saved a lot of money. There were no members to ask me for rent. There were no members to ask me for money. I was just enjoying myself. The very Sunday the open church, 4 million naira left me, rent. You are saying we are helping. When we see members like this, I mean, there are some pastors who are eating money. That's their business. All these men of God they are mentioning, how are they rich? I will tell you. The people who they invested in years ago are the ones now taking care of them. I'm just telling you how pastors get money. Let me just open up to you. There are people I raised up 16 years ago. I trained them in school, did everything for them, and today they are taking care of me. You say I should reject what they are giving me? They swear for me. And there are some of you now who I am supporting, many of you. I'm taking care of you. In the next 5, 6, 7 years, God blesses you legitimately. Won't you take care of me? This is the secret to pastor's wealth. So I'm not just speaking for the church, I'm speaking for all charity organizations. If the government does not fund you, they cannot dictate. Imagine
the government doesn't fund. Does the government fund all these other companies we mentioned earlier? The Residents Association of your estate, is the government funding it? I'm asking. But they are under camera. And nobody is asking you to give account of the gift given to you. As a matter of fact, I've seen people who have been given so much gift in their life, they are worth more than the organization they started because they touch lives. No one is asking for that. But let's take, for instance, Redeemed Christian Church of God. Let's say they have given Adeboye so much money because he blessed people and all of those things, because the man controls 50 million Nigerians, either we like it or not. 50 million Nigerians How many are we in Nigeria? 200 million. One single man is controlling over a quarter of us. So even if it is one naira everybody is giving me, that's something. Let's say they are giving me one naira every day. That's a lot. Are you with me? Nobody is asking for that. But we're saying the Redeemed Christian Church, because where he is the leader of, what do they need 2 private jet for? That's where the government have problem with you. That's where the government have problem with you. You get the point? So that's it. So these people constantly come to talk about a different narrative to the general populace. The general populace. They come to speak about different narratives to general populace, and people just fall for this emotional blackmail and they go for it. They go for it. That's that about this karma for the week. For us to know that the people who are killing you are the ones who are saving you. They don't want you to die. They don't want you to live, because in your misery, they get their own mate. In your misery, they get their own mate. Who are we dealing with next? Let's talk briefly about this man. This is, what's his name? Sunday Adelaja. This is Sunday Adelaja. When I first started speaking against the ills of the church, I met with a lot of people and a lot of media houses who interviewed me. BBC is one of them, and they did not choke me. Radio stations in Washington, D.C., in Germany, the rest of them. Linda AKG, Nairaland, blah, blah. It was through those mediums that folks like Daddy Freeze, Sunday Adelaja, we met. However, sincerely, I felt they are for the emancipation. I felt what I'm doing right now is what they are all for. But when I discovered the receding agenda and all that, I said, I'm not going to deal with these folks anymore. I don't want to come from frying pan into fire. However, I started investigating these guys. Is it like they have a personal vendetta against these men they are castigating? Are they suffering from some kind of terrible hurt? Is there something they are trying to gain from it or something? And I realized that the very reason why this man is specifically against the African pastors is not because this man knows that the product called Heaven Jesus and all that is nonsense. I categorically prove to you that this man has converted more people to atheism than anybody in the world, anybody in Africa. When you hear the message of Sunday Adelaja, you will see a lot of common sense in it that will lead you to saying the truth that he doesn't want to say. Why? Because ABG workshop, you work your shop. And the sales of this opium for the masses called Jesus, the sales of this. So I started investigating, and I realized that the Ukraine version of karma caught up with him. Are you with me? The Ukraine version of karma caught up with him, and the lavish lifestyle that he is living there, he couldn't afford it anymore. So why should anybody in Africa be affording such lifestyle? And that was the motive for saying, I will expose Nigerian pastors and blah, blah, all of those things. Not because he loves you guys. And as a matter of fact, after saying I expose, I do this, how many multi-level marketing schemes has he brought to you? Has he defrauded you for? You know how many people have come out to say this man took money from them and not? Confirm people. As a matter of fact, I have people who are begging to come on this platform to come and speak against this man with proof. I said, oh, Tito, it's enough. I don't want to deal with you guys anymore. A woman recently come out, one towing. Maybe some other day in the future I'll be showing you. When I started speaking that this man is a fraud, people came against me. This woman said a lot of nasty things about me on the internet. That was just last year. And this year she's over every blogger shouting, he took money from me, he defrauded me and all that. Some of you are blessed beyond your pastor. It was Kennedy, is it Pueba or Peba, a friend of mine on Facebook that was saying, maybe Tai Lolu, sorry, was saying in the Seekers group that says, some of you are more spiritually gifted than your pastor. Some of you can see the future than your pastor, but because you don't want to take responsibility, you need someone to fill in the gap for you. So when I meet with you, when I speak and I look and I try to analyze and I see that the motive is wrong, different, I pick race, and I'm not apologetic when I'm picking race. I am open with everything. When I said I'm not doing with these people again, I said I'm not going back. And so she came out, started saying, and she wanted to come to my platform also to give evidence against this man. I said, well, my Bible preached forgiveness. I don't want to deal with that. However, it is the Ukraine version of karma that caught this man. He was holding the largest church attended by white people before. Over 25,000 people. Just make your research and ask how many people are in his church today. And is he the pastor of that his church? Is he still the one who is chairing the church? Karma version of UKTB or Ukraine TB. So I call people like this Ajebodo Tingweni Kunra. It is because he knows that he could not live in that luxury of bring money to God, that he started saying, let's cuckoo. It's like a person that is afflicted with leprosy. He cannot milk a cow, but he can throw away the bowl of milk. I'm just chipping that in so that people who are wise can add one or two together. I guess the only thing he could actually afford to live in out of his ministry, whatever is his mansion that he even converted into an hotel without informing the Ukraine government. The leopard does not change its skin. It has still not changed. They all came for the money. And the easiest way to make money is from the Africans who are looking for heaven. So in exchange for heaven, they create theirs on earth. You give them the money to create theirs on earth. You give out your money to go and over there. No, sorry, Lord, worry. The only heaven that is there for you is the heaven of my God. So it is easier for him to say, I'm holding on to this. Not that your daddy priest does not know the truth. Not that he doesn't know the truth, but if they say the truth, what would they eat? What? How would they be popular? How would their YouTube channel bring so much advert money and all that? And so when you speak about going to Brazil, maybe 2 years ago or something, nobody was talking about this Brazil had to be. There is a need for a guarantor for him to go to that Brazil. A guarantor for you to go to a country and a country as low as Brazil. So it was from one government to the other. Konisalo, Adimo, Adapadao. For those who want to still be food, you have it. Now, this man and this man, they were tied before. Ajo man wanted that they should milk you dry. Their message is not to free you. Their message is to hold you down. So when they still come and tell you, you can approach Jesus like this, you can do this like this, it's like telling you that a white cloth can be off white or white before or want to be white and all that. I don't want to do one on him today. We will talk about that some other time. Let's quickly move on to this man. Oh, it is so disappointing that these men are showing us really that nothing called them. They were not called. Nobody is calling them. They actually called themselves and decided to make a fool of themselves because Church will balance more than I hope you believe. Now, it was Chris Oyakhilome in one of his mental trauma moments just this week that he was talking, says Africans are not black. And suddenly all these members who have been saying black is beautiful, brown skin girl, brown skin this thing, suddenly say, who call you black? Who call you black? Just for you to know that these people have lost every sense of qualification that we can use to refer to them as human animals now. Complete human beings who are behaving like animals. So if you don't think for them, they don't think for themselves. I'll be showing you a video that Adelaja said something about being black, not being black, blah, 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 all those things. Let's hear what he has to say. Because when the angel that brings his Rema, Logos, and Zoe are on strike because lockdown has messed their life up, they begin to talk in the nonsense. They begin to talk in the nonsense. And unfortunately, our people just follow the wind. Anywhere belief is, they just follow. All right, so this is a case of Pastor Chris exhibiting his lunacy just this week. Now, I want you to take a look at the set of people you follow. The set of people you follow and call my leader, my spiritual this thing. I want to go normal. Imagine you following a blind person and you do not have your sight. Go to the people you call your leaders, your spiritual father are not that. Your fathers are vagabonds, you are not normal. Let's hear what Chris had to say.
Maybe I should tell you something. Those of you that say Black Lives Matter, I feel sorry for you. Do you really believe you have a black life? Yeah. And maybe I should tell you something. Those of you that say Black Lives Matter, I feel sorry for you. Do you really believe you have a black life? Do you want me to read to you the meaning of black?
I didn't prepare so well for Chris today, but I'm going to be taking you a little bit into the past. This continent called Africa was formerly known as Al-Kebulan before. Al-Kebulan. And what is the meaning of Al-Kebulan? Al-Kebulan, A-L-K-E-B-U-L-A-N. Google it. What is the meaning of Al-Kebulan? Al-Kebulan simply means the source or the origin of all mankind. The source or the origin of all mankind, because I love to bring in education when we have our program. That's the difference between this platform and the rest. However, that is a general reference to what you call Africa. The personal reference of the ancient folks here in Africa is called Kemet. Kemet means black. So when we want to talk about black people, you call them Kemetu. Kemetu. You just put double O after the Kemet. Are you with me? Please share. Please share. Now, How would you be able to pronounce Kemet in figuring? The people here, the ancestors, if we wake them up today and tell them that this land is called Africa or there is a place called Egypt, they wouldn't understand what you're saying. What was their medium of writing or preservation of history before? They carve on the wall. So when you hear the phrase, can't you see the writing on the wall? It originated from Al-Kebulan, which is also otherwise known as Kemet. And so when they want to refer to something, they go to the wall. And these people began to see that, okay, we are powerful. And because they are lost for word in expressing themselves, they use animals or things in nature to represent what they're trying to say. So when you see them carve a snake, it means wisdom, optimum level of wisdom. When you see them carve eagle, it means strength in the face of the storm. The people of Kemet or Kemet you. So when they go there to search for, it's like going to Google today. When you are not part of them, when you see them, when the Greeks came into Africa, they saw them going to these images, figurines, these walls, and they assumed that they are worshiping those walls and figurines. So in the Bible they give to you, they say, do not bow down to any image, any graven image, either of anything on earth, in heaven, under the sea, and all that. Now they are telling you, do not preserve your history. This same graven image, they took it to their land and gave you Bible. You think you are wise. If Bible is what takes people to heaven, the visa to UK, to America should not be this hard. If you think Bible will take you to heaven freely, you think a white man will give it to you when he cannot even afford you to have a state permit without you cutting corners in this country. Or the as a black person, you are a Momo people. So they're writing on the wall. How do you write Kemet or Kemet you on the wall? Whenever you see those things, they call it papyrus writing, or they call it medunetal. Medunetal, because we escape some words, so they say MDU-NTR, medunetal. It means the language of nature, which means using nature to write or to express. Medunetal. So when you see a snake, a leaf, a this, and don't mean, it means something. So when they want to write people or your land, whenever you see owl, or we that bird, you know, owl is the only bird on this surface that have the same eyeball like that of human being. And it can turn its head in 360 degrees. It comes with so much dread and fear. So when they were picking a bird to represent you, they picked the one that is so magnificent that even in the night it can see the bird of the night. So when you see owl, and the owl is preceded by a charcoal, black charcoal with fire. And the owl is now succeeded by loaf of bread. That is what we call Kemet. That is how this continent is represented. So when you now add a male and a female figurine behind all these things, you have Kemet you, which means the people of Kemet, which otherwise also known as black people. Now the charcoal comes with fire, because out of fire comes the essence of life. You want to keep warm, you need charcoal, you need that. You want to see in the night owl that is so magnificent and so durable. And it's also, you can also see the loaf of bread on it because there is so much abundance. So when you begin to hear land that is flowing with milk and with honey, this is where they are referring to. In other words, they call it black land or land of black people. I'm not talking about the Greek education you have now. I'm talking about our ancient education. Please make researches and learn. Before you begin to believe this man that bleached his own skin, that tried as much as possible to speak like a white person, with his Benin accent, that do relax on his head, palm his head. It's like someone telling me that I have H factor. How will you know that I'm a Yoruba person if I don't have H factor? Why should I be ashamed of my H factor? That is my identity. As a matter of fact, I'm not only proud to be black, I will always want to be black. Because even the God they gave to you proceeded out of darkness. In the beginning, what they say? You see, black represents authority. It represents multiplication or abundance in terms of fruitfulness, because there is no color you want to make, you need black in it. Black represents tolerance. Black is called origin. Black is stainless, and black is durable. And the reason why the people of this land have so much acclimatization with the sun is because black and sun are like friends. When they meet each other, they produce so much heat. For those who do not know. But let's hear what your pastor is saying. The men you follow, they are not proud of you. Let's hear.
Who called you black? Shouldn't you have rejected that from the beginning?
We are black because our ancestors said we are black. And being black is not evil. Being white is not holy. Can I say that again? There is nothing dark in being black, and there is nothing pure in being white. For the information of this man. There is nothing black. There's nothing bad in being black. As a matter of fact, when it comes to longevity and aging, you want to give it to black. And before we started lacking what we call melanin, before we started lacking what we call melanin in the sperms of our men, before we begin to reproduce people who are fair in complexion, people are black. As a matter of fact, when you give birth to an albino, it is strange in Africa. Do you know they were killing albinos before in Africa? You have to be black for you to be accepted in this country. See those people in Egypt, they were not fair. Arabs were not Egyptians. The real Africans, those who call it Egypt, I hope you know that Egypt is also a Greek word. It is not an African word. It didn't originate from here. The Greek gave Egypt. But they are special kind of people. They have curly hair. They are black. They have curly hair. Sometimes they have a blue eye, and they are still black. They have pointed nose. They speak what we call Coptic language. The host of them emanate or expanded to Ethiopia. You can see them. So because their hair is long and coily, like dread, they cut off this place and they leave this place. Just like you see the representation of the pharaohs today. But they are black in skin. So there was a pharaoh that came who is a Greek, one of the Ptolemies, who found out that, okay, keeping hair could give you lies, lies, and they started going, they started scalping their hair, and they were weak. I hope you are with me. So know people you listen to. So when you say your life matter as a black child, you are saying your life matter as the mother of all mankind, as the origin of all life. Your life matter as the abundance of every fruitfulness. Your life matters. A white person cannot give birth to a black person. A black person can give birth to a white person. What are you talking about? I'm illiterate. One that they believe in heaven.
A contradiction, a bundle of contradiction. You refuse Negro and nigger, but that's what black is. So you.
All right, so he said you refuse Negro and nigger, but that's what black means. Now, he must understand that there's something we call vulgarity. Vulgarity. Now, while the same word could mean the same thing, but one could be addressed in form of abuse, while the other could be formal. I'm 6 feet 4 inches tall. So some people will call me Omoga. Or somebody who hate on me will call me Agoro. Omotoga. A person who is tall is different from Agoro. Agoro is a cow that has been castrated. So it is big in size, huge, and all that. Does it mean the same thing? It does. One is vulgar, one is formal. My videos are not meant for children below 18. So we have vagina. So you want to talk about vagina. So sometimes you also call it pussy. Isn't that? Something like that. You are referring to the same thing, but one is vulgar and one is formal. So we said, don't use vulgarity to address us. Use the real word. Black is black. Negro is a black slave. Nigger is a black slave working in plantation. Why must you add the working a slave to plantation to a name? Just say I'm black, that's all. So when you call yourself African, it's okay. When you call yourself black, you are talking about your identity. When you say Africa or Al-Kabula, you are talking about your continent. COVID ti mú ọpọlọ àwọn wọ̀nyí. I think their brain has been infected with COVID. So if you are not proud to be black, leave those who are proud to be black to be black. And if they are fighting for their identity and their race, don't tell them to refer to their race as their continent. Do you know the real Australians are black folks? They are not white folks. So we call them Aboriginal. But they have their traditional name they give to themselves. But they are Australians. COVID. You go to a platform and you don't get education from it, I don't think you waste your time. Let's go on.
Took the English version. Negro means black. And you know what black is? Tell me, have you ever seen black? Do you know the meaning of black? Black means the absence of color.
So when there is absence of color, what does that imply? Absence of color means absence of stain. The absence of color means purity. White is not purity where if you know color. If you really are a student of color, white does not signify purity. Black is what signifies purity. So some folks, young folks were asking me, Brinkman, why do you like to wear black and all that? I said, you might not understand what it means, but this is purity. I identify with my people, with my race, with my color, with my vision in life, and with my dream. and I wear it like a cloth. So you call me whatever you want to call me, but this is what I call myself. I am the essence of every other color. I am the foundation of every understanding. Without black, white has no meaning. Without darkness, no one will appreciate light. No one. So it depends on your perception. Unfortunately, this man's perception is in arrow.
Absence of color, absence of good, absence of light, absence of direction. That's the meaning of black. Black is not a color. It is the absence of color. Like you are sick. Don't you understand?
See, it means now Ade Phillips is here. You are still there. This man said we are sick. I want the shy. And you are saying we should not tell them. Pastor Chris is mad. Pastor Chris is a lunatic person. He's insane. Can't you see? Ade, can you see? Something is wrong with this man. You pick a whole race where you emanated from because you bleached your skin. Because there is an absence of melanin in your father's sperm when it was ejaculating in your mother. You said we, the rest, who are normal, are sick. Oh, God.
So now you're calling it Black Lives. It's about time Africans said to themselves, we are not black because you're not black. What is black in your skin? How black are you really?
Has he been to Ghana before? I wouldn't waste time much on this one. Very useless human being. Has he been to Ghana before? If you have been to some part of Ethiopia, the lower Ethiopia, what does he know about the Moors? The Moors, M-O-O-R-E. Has he seen their skin before? My mother is so black that when the light is off, you can't recognize her. What is wrong with this? What is it about white supremacy that has gotten into the head of people that they try to defend their slave masters? And you bring that to church. What if we tell you that the Jesus that you worship now was copied from Africa, from different mythology, in this land called Black People's Land? Oh. I'm not only proud to be black, I would love to be always black. Have you seen those people under the sun, how their skin go pinky? When they are growing old, at the age of 50, they are wrinkling. Not because we hate on them. They are children. They are products. They emanated from us. Have you read anything about mitochondria DNA? Has he? Who are the people surrounding these men? Who are their advisors? Do they go to school? Who gave them PhD? Who named them doctors? It is such a pity. Oshenilano. 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 It's such a pity about this. I don't want to dwell on him. I don't want to dwell on him. However, I wish we can talk about FEMI-FANI KAYODE today, a man of the moment, whose pride has finished. They were really messed up. He really messed up, already messed up. So we can balance it with politics. We'll talk about FEMI-FANI KAYODE. I will tell you about what the Diaspora Commission of Nigeria is warning our folks to not do. The CEO of Diaspora Commission of Nigeria is Abike Dabiri area. Now something happened during the week. So much for freedom of expression. These are the set of people folks call leaders in Nigeria. However, I want you to know that these men cannot change. These men cannot change. Now, there's something that happened between him and
Look, I'm saying this on live TV.
And
put that thing out.
Daily Trust person. The outburst was uncalled for. Really, it was uncalled for, and I'm going to play it now. We'll speak about it, and I'll give you another evidence that this is not his first time. Yoruba people say, "Ile taba fi tomo eri ni owo, omo ta ba ko ohun lo ngbele ta ba ko ta." When you don't train your children, they will disgrace your family name and generation. They will disgrace your family name and generation. Please, are you sharing this? This is FEMI-FANI Kayode, once Minister of Aviation. I don't know what he knows about aviation, really. But let's hear what he has to say to this pressman. So much for freedom of expression.
Look, I'm saying this on live TV. Put that thing now. Let me address. What type of stupid question is that? What type of stupid question is that? Bankrolling who? Do you know who you are talking to? I will not take any questions from this man. What type of insulting question is that? Which bankroll? To do what? Who can give me money for anything? Who do you think you are talking to? Bankroll what? Go and report yourself to your publisher. Bankroll what? Please don't insult me here. Okay. I don't want to take any questions from this man. Very stupid. I could see from your face before you got here how stupid you are. Don't ever.
Freedom of expression. Freedom of expression. Freedom of expression. This is the kind of politics we play in Nigeria, where individuals are more powerful than institutions. I'm going to tell you what happened for those who live in diaspora, and for the sake of objective submission. Now, this man claimed is the one that held this first conference. He called people, and they love to do show. He said he's been going through the 36 states of Nigeria to investigate, or what's the word he used now? To inspect all the projects being done. He's been rolling with the governors. Now, remember the lies here. Number one, this man is a PDP spokesperson. He's very vocal for PDP, against APC. Majority of the governors in Nigeria are APC members. So the journalists look at it. If you have been staying with governors, checking their works out, you are not a government official. You have no post. You are not a party member of the current regime. You are PDP, they are APC. But you've been going through 36 states of Nigeria. Who is bankrolling you? Please, let's start from defining what bankrolling means. Bankrolling means support, aid, backup, especially in terms of finance, for the purpose of achieving a set goal. Is it too hard to ask? That how are you financing this tour that nobody sent you a message to go and do, that you are going from one place to the other? Who is the person, or how are you getting finance? At least if I say I'm buying lunch, I'm doing this and all that in the name of the masses, it is normal for you to say who is bankrolling me. That's what we are still talking about, the karma issue. There must be transparency. If you call press conference and say you have been doing a lot, you have been going around, especially you have been going to the territories of those who consider as political enemies, not allies, we should ask, who are the people behind it? What organization is it? What organization is sponsoring it? What aim are you guys achieving? What is it? What do you hope to get at the end of the day? That's what bankrolling means. It's not too hard to ask. It's not too much. In a nation where people understand, that's why I said if you are in Nigeria, go and learn comprehension. And you started saying a lot to a man who is married, who is in the course of his duty and all. At least as saucy as we say Donald Trump is, he's still well coordinated. This is an abuse. This man should be sued for what he did. And this mentality of I will report you to your publisher and all that, as if Nigeria has a long way to go. A long way. This is the mentality of any person in Nigeria who can make two ends meet. So you meet them on the street, the first question they start asking you, do you know who I am? How will I know who you are if you don't introduce yourself? The question that messes up Nigeria most is who I am. Unfortunately, when they get to Heathrow or Gatwick or whatever, John F. Kennedy and other airport, who they are is even what they don't know. So a 21-year-old child will be asking them, who are you and what are you here for? They will be stammering. It's only in Nigeria they'll be asking, do you know who I am? Who the hell are you? And some people will think this is the first time. He's been doing it a long time ago. And that's why I'm going to play you another video. It's too appalling it is too appalling to see him doing that to a fellow human being. And he still went ahead to threaten this man, call his publisher and all that. And later he said he apologized. After traumatizing a man, you should pay for damages. Now we're going to be playing another video. This one has happened in May 2020. May 2020. I think during the lockdown on Ben TV. You will hear the same attitude. You hear the same thing. Look at it.
You're missing I'm not missing the point. I think really I'd like to move on from here.
Let me quickly come in to bring in Marianne.
Coming to come and be told
Marianne.
FEMI-FANI KAYODE, with due respect, I think you're taking this so personal. I should take responsibility for Buhari. You must be very stupid to say.
Can you say that? Can you say that? So that word stupid is not far from it. This is another session. You must be very stupid. Who are you? And tomorrow this man will say he wants to contest for something, Nigerians will still vote for him. They will still vote for him. When are we going to get to promised land if we keep tolerating this kind of dark-minded people in politics? When? Everyone is stupid because you have just little change. It shouldn't be. It shouldn't be. It shouldn't be. You were there when Suleiman was calling everybody mad, stupid, imbecile, and all that. You heard Chris Oyakhilome saying we are all sick. You can hear from a politician mind also that we are stupid. So tomorrow we say Baba and Rakadele. I don't know when we want to stop. I don't know when we are going to say enough is enough. All right, in rounding up for today, we're going to be checking out this particular commission, the Diaspora Commission of Nigeria. They are giving us a warning for parents out there. They are giving warning out to parents out there, saying about parents who are sending their children abroad to go and learn. Unfortunately, it would have been better if this warning comes with an option. But it's not coming with an option. Abike Dabiri, who is the chairman of Nigeria Diaspora Commission, is saying to all Nigerian parents that no Nigerian parent should send their children to any university in Northern Cyprus. In where? In Northern Cyprus. There is a collaboration which we do not understand that makes them kill blacks, particularly our Nigerian students. You will not say you didn't hear it. News like this don't make wave. But I just felt, let me just bring it to you. So Northern Cyprus, cross it out of your list. As much as you want your children to have international education, I think the best way to go about it is to demand for good and standard education in Nigeria on the soil here, rather than for you to send them to a place where, so you pray for Nigeria to be better, but you pump money to other countries to do well. That's part of what we are saying. All your pastors send their children abroad to Canada, to America to learn. Even MC Oluomo, who is an Agbero, his children are graduating in university in USA. So in the bid for parents to say, okay, and all that, there was a time they were putting these children in university in Togo, in Cotonou there. So when we ask these children, they say, I'm an international student, Cotonou there, university that is one-story building. As long as the name Nigeria is not mentioned on your certificate, you are a valuable asset to any company. So everybody will pay. Chris is up, we are sick. Are they sick, Lotto? Pastor Chris said we are sick and we are truly sick. So people are pushing their children to Cyprus, especially the northern Cyprus. And according to Abike Dabiri, who is the chairman of the Nigerian Diaspora Commission, says that the only country that recognized this northern Cyprus is Turkey. However, when issue comes down, they don't come around to help. So they are killing blacks, especially Nigerian students. And you know how people, wherever they get to, they excel. So please don't just pay for the assassination of your children by sending them to university in that region. If I were you, if they say Northern Cyprus, I wouldn't take my children to any university in Cyprus at all. I look for a better option. So instead of you to call Oyedepo to order and say you are a thief, you started universities from church money. Make it affordable. If I were you, I would call Adeboye and say, you are a criminal, sir. You started university on public money. Make it affordable. If I were you, I would be on the gate of UI now, University of Ibadan. Remember, they said they should submit their account paper. So University of Ibadan said their accountant or their bossa is partially blind or even blind. So they cannot submit account paper. More wonder, in a nation where they tell you that snake swallowed 36 million, monkey took money away, they are telling you accountants have no sight. So therefore they cannot. Oh my God. When are we going to wake up, Nigerians? When are we going to wake up? Ìṣòro wa pọ̀. À ń ṣera wa ní kùmọ̀, à ń ṣera wa ní jàmbá. Nigerians, please wake up. I have a lot to do, but I will spend 2 hours plus talking to you about how Nigerians should wake up, because I don't want my children to come into the system and inherit this myopism, this idiocy, this nonsense. So I'm calling on well-meaning Nigerians and say, leave religion, ditch all these things, call Nigerian politicians to order, protest if you have to protest. Mali is taking the bull by the horn, and let's take us also by the horn. In the whole of Lagos, we have less than 10,000 policemen. In my local government alone, we are more than 1.5 million. What would they do to us if we decided to uniformly come and occupy the streets? What would they do? What would they do to us? But we are too scared to die, and we are not even living at all. Those who cannot define their death will never really live at all. And that's the problem we are facing. What is killing us is inside us. What stops us from if we have cancer in our body, what do? We stop everything and face the cancer. Either we take it off by a knife, or we begin to aggressively use chemotherapy against it. Why are we allowing the cancer in our society to grow? Why? Someone is saying the level of racism their children go through in those schools a lot. There is a rest. There's no rest for the wicked. It's a lot. So you send your children to school for them to face studies, and even before they had to battle racism, they had to battle somebody calling them names and all this. And at the end of the day, they come home, and because they went through it with fire, they had to come and bring brimstones on everybody here. The first thing that comes to their mind is how to scoop the money as much as they can and pay their parents back when we can afford good education here. In those times, Saudi Arabia princes or royal family used to come to what's the name of this teaching hospital in Ibadan? to come and get treatment. But now, what are we doing? Let's do something. Let's wake up. Let's wake up. Thank you very much for being part of today's broadcast. We have done a lot, and I really appreciate every single one that stayed from beginning to the end. The help you need to do for me is just to go ahead and press your share button. Press your share button if you are with us online. We also say that if you have 1 or 2 tokens to give to support this platform, particularly, you can use the account number on the screen for that. And if you want to also be part of our humanitarian works, you have 1 or 2 tokens. We're doing a lot in Nigeria in Crystal Love Foundation to help our folks start. We are starting a project these days. We are getting like 2.5 million to start a vocational center for our folks. We can't give them job, but let's teach them skills and also sensitize them to know that if you are a plumber, you can still source for a living. If you're an hairdresser, all you need is packaging. If you're a masseur, you can do it better. You can fend for a living. The future of Nigeria is lying in the hands of those who have handworks. And how can they get the handworks? They don't have money for apprenticeship. So we need 2.5 million to start this vocational training massively, where we give the training for them for free, but we need to hire people, we need to buy instruments, we need to buy materials, we need to rent a place and all that. If you have 1 or 2 tokens to help in that regard, you can just put it in Crystal Love Support Foundation, Fidelity Bank number 41100826614. 41100826614. We will really appreciate it. And at the end of every year, we publish our statement of account, or if you really are in need of, okay, how are you spending that money I pushed into your account recently? You can ask us. We will surely make that available. And we are already working with FIRS, EFCC, and also the new Kama law is actually regulating us also. We would appreciate it to make Nigeria better, to produce artisans and give them good training on vocational stuff. The scheme is going to be so huge that when our children leave secondary school, before they get into university, while they are preparing to get into university, we want them to have 1 or 2 skills before they get into university. It's going to be under a must and under every compulsion for us to recruit these children as they are leaving secondary school into our vocational training center, get a skill, because there is no surety that when you get a certificate in university, there's going to be a job for you. Thank you very much. Somebody is asking, hi, Greatman, where is Uncle Wale from Germany, please? Uncle Wale has done his own bit on the platform. He's a guest. I hope you remember. He's a guest, and we are done with what he has to say. We'll be bringing other guests subsequently on the platform. So it's not about one person alone. I guess the only surest face you'll be seeing all the time on the platform is going to be my face. We'll be bringing people in and out to tell their experience, to give their own quota also. They can call in, we can host them visually. And this is why every time when you take a look at the stuff that is scrolling under, you see that we always say that you too can be a guest in any of our programs. Host me to this number, host me to this number, WhatsApp number, host me. So we'll be having other guests. Thank you very much, everyone, for watching. Please, your share button is so important. This is the best evangelism. Let your people know. They'll be able to think outside the box. They'll be able to reason. Maybe they have heard it from somewhere before. They don't understand. They don't understand. Here is where they will understand. Please share, put it in your inbox, post it as a watch party, invite someone to the platform. And if you are new on this channel, press your subscribe button and your notification button. See you next Thursday on Wake Up Nigeria or Wake Up Africa. On Sunday, 8 p.m. the same time. Always come to reason outside the box on our spirituality and how we can become gods on earth. Thank you very, very much. Bye for now. I love you. I love Nigeria. And I love you as a Black person. And don't stop being Black. There is beauty in it. Bye for now.